From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, it's been a very cold day across the area today. We're now seeing the temperatures finally above a little bit into the double digits, 12 degrees in Lansing and Grand Ledge, and we're looking at 13 degrees in Jackson and Hillsdale. Beautiful sunrise or sunset happening right now. As we can see, even across the area, it feels like temperatures or our wind chills are still below zero. -1 in Jackson, -1 in Mason, 0 here in Lansing, and 0 in Charlotte. So it's still a little bit chilly. We're starting to see a little bit of some clouds moving across the area, but we'll still remain quiet for tonight. As we head across the area for tonight, we'll continue to see those chilly temperatures, and we'll also start to see a little bit of some clearing skies overall for tonight. Temperatures will be dropping back down into the single digits with below zero wind chills still in the forecast. All the details coming up in just a little bit. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you with 6 News at 6.
There's possible good news and bad news for residents of a troubled Lansing apartment complex tonight. That's our top story at 6. Thank you for joining us. I'm Siobhan Klepfer.
And I'm Sherry Jones. 6 News has been following the saga of the troubled townhomes in Lansing for a couple of years now.
The Sycamore townhomes and apartments on the city's southwest side have been cited with pink and red tags because of their conditions until a court-appointed receiver took control of the property back in September.
That person has a plan to fix up the place, and a judge just put it on hold. But if approved, it would come at quite a cost. 6 News reporter Zach Priest is here to explain.
Sherry and Siobhan, the receiver's name is John Polderman, and he's asking a federal judge for permission to borrow $15 million to clean the place up. As we've reported, and as the city has alleged in legal documents, there are problems with furnaces, hot water heaters, and problems with everything from feces to fire safety. 6 News cameras have also caught a bunch of broken and boarded up windows across the property's 67 buildings. So the receiver wants to spend at least $15 million to get new roofing, doors, and windows, new electrical systems, plumbing, heating, and air conditioning, as well as new appliances, a splash pad, a playground for kids, picnic areas, and walking paths, and to revitalize the pool area. And that might sound great to people who live there. But here's the catch. Everyone would have to move out while the work gets done, a process that court documents say could take a year and a half, and then another 18 months after that to rent all the apartments out again. Court records indicate that the property is only 1/3 full, which is about 120 units. The receiver says tenants who are up to date on rent would get lots of help relocated, while people who are behind on payments would have any back rent waived. City officials support the plan, but the decision will ultimately be up to a judge, who just put the plan on hold to see if the parties involved can work things out. Who says, thank you.
All right, thank you, Zach. And speaking of housing, the state launched a new program today designed to help people buy homes.
Specifically, it will help provide down payments for first-generation home buyers.
And those are people from families where previous generations never owned a home. The Michigan State Housing Development Authority says home ownership is a crucial pathway to economic security. But the upfront costs of purchasing a home pose a significant barrier to people who don't have generational wealth. They say helping people overcome that barrier will improve the people's financial security and strengthen our communities.
We have an update for you tonight on the deadly shooting that happened over the weekend at an adult entertainment club in Lansing.
Police have identified the victim as 45-year-old Christopher Bonilla Sr.
The suspect has been identified as 36-year-old Adrian Wilkerson. He has been charged with multiple felonies, including open murder. The shooting happened early Sunday morning on the 5900 block of Pennsylvania Avenue. Police say Bonilla was shot several times inside the business and later died at U of M Sparrow Health.
Moving to Jackson now, dozens of protesters rallied outside the representative's office today, hoping Congressman Wahlberg will protect them from proposed funding cuts to the Department of Education.
Nick Simon was there covering the rally. He's here for you now with more on their demands.
I'm standing outside of Congressman Tim Walberg's office in Jackson, Michigan. Demonstrators are asking the congressman to protect public education from proposed cuts from the new administration. That includes parents like Peggy Jennings. She says states like Michigan are already having a hard time funding programs like special education. She's worried that her kids will be directly affected by federal cuts.
School districts have had to stretch to make ends meet, and the result has harmed not only children like mine, but all students. I am outraged at the very government that is supposed to protect children is instead to threaten their very future.
Students also described how their schools are falling apart, and they say buildings need more funding, not less.
I know that rodents have been present in a lunchroom where food is prepared for students, and yet the food continues to be served. As this is my final year at Cody, I am disappointed to observe that no improvements have been made.
The Detroit High School senior also worries that cuts to scholarships will prevent her and other students from moving on to higher education after graduating.
Tim, if you defund college loans like the Pell Grant, my college attendance will be at risk, and so will others who are struggling with financial support.
Members of the Jackson School Board also spoke out. They say more than $8 million will be cut from area schools if federal funding disappears.
That goes towards students, goes towards educators, curriculum, and books. We get even more money out of the Department of Ag to put food into kids' mouths that are hungry so that they can focus on a quality public education.
Protesters delivered a letter with their demands to the congressman's office, and they tell me they're not going to stop demonstrating until they see the representative making a real effort to protect education. Here for you in Jackson, Nick Simon, 6 News.
Well, no one at Congressman Wahlberg's office was able to talk to us about the protest, but his communications team in Washington is working to get us their response, and we will report it when we have it.
Lansing Community College is holding its annual Malcolm X Symposium right now. Here's a live look from that event, which runs until 7:30 tonight inside the Gannon Building at LCC's downtown campus. The theme of this year's symposium is African Americans and Labor, with spoken word presentations, music and cultural performances, and a panel discussion with union representatives.
Again, as we know, Malcolm X was raised in Lansing, a great part of his life as well, and we're making sure that we give him his honor and his commemoration, and also do it from an educational standpoint. You know, one of the things he said that was very important was education and the need for education as mainly our best means for progress.
Well, moving on, the state Senate bill to preserve the lower minimum wage for tipped employees here in Michigan is now making progress in the State House. In fact, it has been referred to the State House Select Committee on Protecting Michigan Employees and Small Businesses, which was created by State House Republicans last month with this specific issue in mind. Right now, the lower tipped minimum wage is 38% of the actual minimum wage, but it is scheduled to increase gradually until it's the same as the minimum wage. Under this bill, that lower minimum wage would remain at 38% and slowly increase to 50% of the minimum wage by 2031, where it would stay.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, it's a very chilly day across the area today, and we did slowly start to warm things up, but we started the day quite cold. It felt like you want to just stay inside under a blanket or even have a cup of hot cocoa with you throughout the whole day. Looking at our McLaren network camera, we're looking at those clouds slowly starting to decrease, and we'll also start to see some improvement in the temperatures over the next couple of days. Temperatures this morning were into the negatives, -3 degrees this morning, max wind of about 23 degrees here in the capital. We're into the 12-degree mark right now, 12 degrees, even into parts of the area overall. We're going to continue to see these conditions slowly start to move up as we continue to see a little bit of some warmth back into the forecast. 13 degrees right now, feeling like we had our -1 degree low for the day this morning. Max wind of about 22 degrees overall with a high temperature of about 16 degrees, feeling like 13 degrees right now. Across the area, Jackson, we're also seeing temperatures into the teens, 13 degrees with a 16-degree high and a 6-degree low and a max wind of about 22 degrees. Hillsdale camera, we're still seeing those clouds slowly start to move in, and our temperatures right now, 14 degrees, feeling like 16 degrees or a 16-degree high and a -1 degree low with a max wind of about 17 miles per hour. Overall, our wind chills right now are starting to make us feel like we're still in the single digits on either side of 0 degrees in Lansing, -1 in Lansing, or Mason and Jackson, and we're even seeing 0 degrees down into Hillsdale. So it's still going to be a chilly night tonight, but we're still going to continue to start to see those clouds slowly start start to increase over the next couple of hours. Now we're starting to see those lake effect snow showers slowly taper off as a high pressure system slowly works in. As you can see, we'll have those clouds increase just a little bit. Those clouds are going to act like a blanket to protect any of that heat from escaping, and so we won't get as cold as we did last night. There's going to be a system passing to our south, but we're going to just stay quiet from that. Maybe a few flurries late tomorrow night into early tomorrow, Thursday morning, but still we're going to stay quiet for the day for our Wednesday and even into our Thursday. For tonight, we'll see our temperatures back into the single digits, 1 degree, partly cloudy skies. Again, our wind chill tracker or our feels like temperatures will be back down into the negatives for tonight, and we'll slowly start to warm back up into the double digits as we head into our Thursday. But as we head into Wednesday, we'll continue to see those temperatures into the teens, still feeling a little bit cool as we do have a little bit of a breeze here or there. But as we head into our next couple of days, we'll slowly start to warm up. It kind of looks like a roller coaster ride up as we head into the next couple of days, as we continue to see our temperatures back into the 30s by the beginning of next week. But we'll still slowly start to warm things up each and every day with mostly cloudy skies, a chance for some rain and snow showers on Monday, but we'll keep an eye on that moving forward. But again, temperatures starting to warm up, and it doesn't look like anything big is in the forecast until about next Thursday as we see our temperatures into the 30s.
It's certainly nice to see all those 30s on the 6+6.
Yeah,
honestly,
sure.
yes.
Well, thanks, Kelsey.